Hello everybody. Sorry for the short notice on the live stream. I completely forgot to put it on my community tab, and then it just didn't seem to go out properly, so I had to redo it again. So yeah, hopefully everything's going okay. Yeah, okay, everything seems to be working fine. Anyway, so that was, yeah, Taskmaster Series 12, Episode 5. Also, the 100th episode of Taskmaster, which is insane. I didn't realise how close we were getting to 100 episodes. Well, yeah, which is awesome. Oh, sorry, just... Ooh, I don't know if we're... Sorry, just lost there for a second. Don't know what happened then. So, yes. Also, interesting facts about Taskmaster, the 100th episode. Over 500 tasks and 7,700 points, which is ridiculous. It's awesome. Hello. Hello everyone. Yeah, so I did a bit of a shaky start to this one. I don't know what is kind of like glitched out on me then. Hello. So yeah, it was a really, really good episode, I thought. I think they definitely pulled out a really, really strong episode for the 100th episode. Every task was so strong. In my opinion, that like, yeah, genuinely just every task was so good. Yeah, so yeah, I think we should better just get started. Anyway, so yeah, over 500 tasks for Taskmaster, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, and I can't wait to talk about this episode because even though I did enjoy it all, this is the first episode where there's really been like I'm not agreed with the scoring. So yeah, I've got a few questions for you guys to see if you have the same kind of thoughts as I do. But yeah, there were some points where it was like I just didn't understand why they were given out a certain way. Yeah. I'd definitely be interested to hear your guys' thoughts. So yeah, let's get straight into... Actually, no, we'll hang around a bit and get more few people in before we go on to the first task. But yeah, 100 episodes. Yeah, I just can't believe it. It's just like such a strong show to be going for over 100 episodes and like just be consistently really, really good. Yeah, it's just such a good show. Yeah, hello. Yeah, okay, let's get on to the first task. So the prize task. And I thought, again, the prize task was quite fitting for the theme. So it was the most elegant thing beginning with G. Of course, the most elegant thing beginning with G would be Greg. So he... I'm really surprised that people didn't bring in something to do with Greg, because it was obviously kind of going towards that. You could have done something really cool, like a portrait of Greg or something like that. Yeah, I'm surprised no one did that. That's what I was expecting. I thought everyone would kind of do things related to Greg. Imagine coming up with 500 tasks. Taskmaster must be a huge part of Alex's life. Yeah, and then all the tasks that are in like the books and everything as well. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, I just don't know how they haven't run out of ideas for tasks. And also we've got like international versions doing their own tasks as well. Like, yeah, oh my god, I don't know how they keep coming up with like good ideas. It's ridiculous. Taskmaster is honestly one of the only shows I'd say has never had a bad episode. It's genius. I agree. Yeah, there hasn't been a bad episode at all. Yeah, and it is genius, definitely. Yeah, so most elegant thing beginning with G. What would you guys have brought in? Because I definitely would have gone like something to do with Greg, probably, because and also straight away I'd argue that only one thing that was brought in was elegant, and that is obviously Gus's one, which is again another painting of himself, which is great, an amazing painting. I just want to know how many portraits he's got in his house. Like, does he have more than like that have been done of Greg in the Taskmaster house? Like, just consistently keep bringing them in. Oh yeah, and home tasking tasks. I don't know how he's created so many. Did the Champion of the Champions and the New Year's special count towards those 100 episodes? I imagine so. Yeah. I think so. Oh, I don't know actually. I assumed they did, but I might be wrong. I didn't understand how Desiree only got 1 point. Flowers aren't super imaginative, but surely more elegant than the things Alan, Morgana, and especially Victoria brought in. Definitely. I would definitely have given Desiree 4 points. Because, yeah, again, hers wasn't the best. But it was definitely better than the other ones. So, yeah, she brought in gardenia. Apparently, very, like, fussy flowers, need to do everything right. But, like, they're worth the effort. And I think that definitely fits into the kind of theme. I don't know, I imagine... Yeah, I don't know, I just thought it was a lot better than the weird giraffe and the weird, like, Mr. Greedy toy. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Gus 100% deserves 5 points. His was, like, the best, like, undoubtedly his was the best. I quite liked Alan's just because it was kind of linked to QI and everything, but yeah, again, I wouldn't say it's elegant in any way, but I'd probably put him in the middle, like 3 points, because yeah, it wasn't bad. It fit, like, at least it was a better prize than the giraffe and the greedy toy. Yeah, the giraffe toy was kind of like weird, but I kind of liked it. I can just imagine like hanging that, like, did you say it was like a Christmas ornament or something like that? Like, I can imagine hanging it like on a tree or something, and just, yeah, it's very odd. A stunted necked glass giraffe. Yeah. The giraffe was flippin' weird. Mr. Greedy was quite cute though, but the least elegant thing ever. Yeah, I don't know where the elegance comes from in that. Like, it doesn't look elegant to me at all. Like, at least the giraffe, you could argue, like, ballet, like, elegance and stuff, but I wouldn't really call a giraffe elegant in any way. But that's fine. But for me personally, I would go Gus 5 points, Desiree 4, Alan 3, Morgana 2, and Victoria 1. That's what I would do with the points. But yeah, I know quite a few people, I saw like people saying that like Alan was really overscored, and it's like, yeah, he was. It is ridiculous he got 4 points for bringing in a dressing gown, but it was better than most of the others, so I don't know why people are all up in arms about that one. It's like, I mean, the other one was a glass giraffe and a weird toy thing. It's definitely better than those ones, at least in my opinion anyway. Again, doesn't really fit the theme, but I wouldn't say it's any less elegant than the giraffe or the greedy toy. So yeah, we'll get on to the issues with the scoring. I'm not that mad about this one, but it is funny that Alan did get 4 points for a old dressing gown, so I like that. Where did she get it from? The giraffe? I have no idea. I would love to know where she got that from, because yeah, I can't. Probably like a weird artsy like store or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. None of them were very elegant, apart from Gus. Again, Gus coming in strong with the prize tasks. He's been quite good most of the time with the prize tasks. I'm always excited to see his prize, because it could literally be anything. Like, I can never predict what he's going to bring in. I think it's more Desiree being underscored more than Alan being overscored. Yeah, that's definitely fair. Desiree definitely was underscored in this task, 100%. I love the giraffe, but it didn't really fit. Yeah, it's just... it's not elegant. Like surreal, like Boheme says, or quirky. Those kind of. Yeah, that's kind of what I would describe it as. Not elegant in any way. Gus should thank all his fans for those portraits. Yeah, yeah, definitely. They're pulling in strong with the portraits. I did see going around like a video of how he got that one portrait. I can't remember. I didn't actually watch it, but I remember seeing like the thumbnail and thinking I should watch that later, but never actually did. I think it was something to do with a TV show or something that the portrait was from. I think. Anyway, I might be completely wrong with that. But yeah, Desiree was very underscored in this episode. I think generally... no, I think, yeah, maybe just this task. Yeah, let's get on to the first proper task of the episode, which was sit on a cake. Obviously from Lisa Tarbuck's task in Series 6, which was like the highlight of Series 6 in my opinion. It was the best part. And yeah, I love that they kind of made a task out of somebody's attempt in a task. I thought that's a really good idea, and definitely a way that you could generate more kind of like more tasks. And also I loved the introduction to the task where we saw like a little clip or like item from each series. I thought that was incredible. I absolutely loved it. I thought that was one of the best intros we've had. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Apparently where Gus got the portrait was from an ad for iPlayer. Okay, interesting, thank you. Gus has done way better since episode 1's chair. Yes, he definitely has. Definitely has. So yeah, sit on a cake, fastest wins, and then there's also 5 bonus points for the best cake. And straight away, I would have made a cake. Yeah, straight away I would have made a cake, because even if you're the slowest and you made the best cake, you'll still get 6 points. So that is what I would have done. Yeah, I would have made the cake. Morgana, strongest effort for this, 100%. There was a secret cake room. I loved that reveal. It was so good. Yeah, just genius. Disappointed that the cake wasn't hidden in the washing machine as a callback to Noel Fielding's destroy this cake task. Yes, that would have been a good place to hide the cake, definitely. But I do like the use of the bathroom in the caravan being like the secret room. They've done that a couple of times, I think it's always been the same, like the bathroom in the caravan. But yeah, that's where I think it is. Alex is a wrench on everyone, but he should have saved this one for the second Chamber of the Champions to give some love to Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think Lisa probably would have turned it round and be like, well, it doesn't say I have to sit on a cake, and made him sit on a cake for the second time or something like that. But yeah, it would have been fun to see how she would have reacted to being told to sit on a cake. I was expecting different cakes hidden in the house. Yes, I was expecting there to be more than one cake. Yeah, definitely, because yeah, and even then the cake that Desiree found, which I'm assuming was the only cake, it was a shaving foam cake, which yeah, I thought that was kind of mean, but I guess they gave her the points anyway, so it was all right in the end. Did anyone go to the shed, because that's where Lisa made Alex sit on a cake? I don't believe they did. If they did, then they didn't show it. But yeah, that would have been a good place to hide the cake, because, you know, shows whether they've watched the show. Yeah, I mean, so my thoughts on this task is that only one person sat on a cake. Morgana was the only one that sat on a cake. Like, yeah, no one else did the task, in my opinion. I'm not mad about people being given points, but yeah, only Morgana sat on a cake. That's my opinion on this. Croissant isn't a cake, and neither is a flapjack. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Surprised Desiree didn't taste test the cake, but it wasn't made out of sand. But yeah, no, I'm surprised she didn't. But I love the way that she just immediately sat on it and like fell off because, you know, expecting it to be like firm and it just being a pile of shaving foam. No, I don't think shaving foam is edible. Yeah, at first I thought it was whipped cream, which that would have been edible and that would have been very nice. But Victoria's emergency flapjack is never not going to be funny. I agree. Even though it's not a cake, I did love that she always had a flapjack on her. I thought that was great. But yeah, I'm surprised that, like we said, like someone said before, that there wasn't any other like proper cakes in the house, or at least if there was and people didn't find them. But yeah, I'm surprised that only Morgana sat on a cake. Yeah, a croissant is a croissant. I agree. Title of the episode: a croissant is a croissant. It's not a cake. And also, it wasn't a croissant. It was like a pain au chocolat, which I'm not sure whether that is technically like a croissant, if it's the same kind of thing, but it is different. I'd have given points, except perhaps to Alan, though if they provided a shaving foam cake, they can't really disqualify for that. Yeah, I agree. I did kind of get annoyed when they started saying, does Desiree get the points because it was like shaving foam? And it's like, you haven't questioned the flapjack or the kind of questioned the croissant, but it's like, why are we questioning the shaving foam cake that you provided and not the flapjack? Because yeah, none of them were cakes. But again, I'm not too mad about it because Morgana still, you know, got the points for their best cake, so she still ended up doing the best. But yeah, anyway, despite my issues with the points, it was a very entertaining task, and I did love everybody's attempts. So I loved Gus decorating a croissant or a pain au chocolat or whatever, just with Rice Krispies and icing, and put it on a teapot and then sat on it, which, like they said, it did seem risky. I was expecting like the teapot to break. Like, I wouldn't have imagined you could have sat on a teapot. Right, let's see where we're going with this. Victoria was basically rewarded for once again revealing how weird she is. I kind of loved her for that. Yeah, definitely, I did like it. But yeah, if the hidden cake is a shaving foam cake, then I think they are playing loose with the definition of cake anyway. Yeah, that's why I'm not quite mad about it, because like, I would have been more mad if somebody got disqualified for it not being a cake and the rest got away with it. But because they just went with it. I'm not too mad, but like, none of them are cakes. I was very surprised Victoria got almost 0 flack for her cake. Greg was being generous. Yeah, he was being very generous to then be very not generous in the next task, but we'll get onto that later. But yeah, everyone's attempt was so good. I like that Alan went a bit different and made like a paper cake. You know, it's like a representation of a cake. Yeah. And I like that pretty much everybody, apart from Victoria, put like candles on, because I think that's kind of like not a key part of a cake, but it's like linked to a cake. Yeah. What was the teapot about? I don't know, flair? Just make it look a bit more interesting. Yeah, I don't know, try and get points for it to be the best cake, which it's never going to be the best cake. But yeah, I loved the effort that Morgana put into it. Again, I probably would have made a cake if there wasn't one there. And yeah, putting jam on it and marshmallows, sparklers and candles. Like, she put in so much effort. She 100% deserved the 5 bonus points. And yeah, I just loved it. I would sit on a picture of a cake. Yeah, I guess that would work. Yeah, that would work, I imagine. yeah, probably would have been quite quick. So you probably would have beaten quite a few people on this one. But yeah, Victoria, you wouldn't have beaten Victoria though, because 25 seconds to sit on a flapjack, that is just, yeah, that is just insane. I loved that for Victoria. And then obviously Desiree finding the secret cake room. I was surprised that they did, that Desiree just kind of accepted the fact that it was a shaving foam cake, and because if that was me, I probably would have thought, this isn't a cake, I'm gonna have to like make something. But I like that she just went with it. I thought it was great. And yeah, I just loved her falling off the the stool. I think at this point, a big part of Greg's game is trying to do the opposite of what people expect when it comes to scoring. Interesting. I do like that he's not kind of giving points the kind of like the way they're expected to be given. Definitely. Because we don't want it to get too boring and predictable, and like contestants kind of playing a bit too into what's expected of getting points. Whenever, like a lot of the time when somebody makes like a political point or something, then Greg immediately just doesn't really play into it that much. Like who was it that brought in like the suffragette badge or coin or something, and expecting to kind of get points from Greg for like feminism and suffrage and everything, and he just gave the points to somebody else. I can't remember who that was or what task that was. But yeah, he never kind of plays into the rules of who should get points. It's very much whatever he's feeling on the day. And I do love that about Taskmaster. Definitely. I'm glad Morgana didn't get poked in the butt by those sparklers. Yeah, I did. I was very uneasy when I saw her try to sit on that cake, because I was like, there's candles that you've just blown out. Like, they're still probably a little bit warm, and like, yeah. You wouldn't have thought that task would have gotten the variety it did. I'm really glad they decided to play loose with the definition of a cake. Yeah, no, it definitely is a good thing. For the task, I think not really caring about what technically is a cake was good. I loved, like you said, that everybody took a very different approach, and that is what that's what I loved about this task. I thought it was just everybody had just a completely wild idea and just ran with it, and it's great. Thank you, Lewis. It was Catherine Ryan with the suffragette coin. Thank you. Greg also hates children and pregnant women, also he claims, which is unthinkable for most people. Yeah, he does. Oh god, that's one of my like favourite Taskmaster moments, with the pregnant woman one. But yeah, so very, very good task. And again, like I said, I loved that they brought back a Taskmaster contestant's attempt. I thought that was a great thing to do for the 100th episode. And I think the last task as well, the prevent Alex from scoring a goal, I thought that was great, because it played on the fact that Greg has very often not given people points if they like do something football related. So I like that they did that as well for the 100th episode. The team task didn't really relate to any task, I don't think, like previous ones, or I don't think there's a reference in that one. And I don't know if there's a reference in the dart task. Don't know, we'll get onto that in a bit though. But yeah, I wonder if in like Champion of the Champions we'll get like more references to other tasks, because I do love that. Like kind of it'd be so good. I can't wait for Champion of the Champions. Again, do we know when that's coming out? I keep forgetting, because I thought it'd be around like New Year's, but I don't know if that's right at all. Have you seen the pilot for Taskmaster? Would that be the Edinburgh shows? Because I've seen like little clips, whatever's been on YouTube, but there's been a couple of like little things, but I don't think I've seen a full like TV show pilot. No. I would be interested in seeing that though. Yeah, that is interesting. Like an actual like I would be interested to see that. Right. So, yeah, anyway, on to the points. So, Victoria got 5 points for hers, because she sat on the cake in 25 seconds. Desiree got 4 points. Guz got 3. Alan got 2. Morgana got 1. But then, obviously, the bonus 5 points for the best cake, which, again, like I said, very well deserved. And how I probably would have played this one. Because, yeah, I'd have been too scared that none of the other ones would have counted. But, yeah, that Morgana's how I would have played it. Because I couldn't think of another way apart from finding a cake that would work. So, yeah. I think a bit before Christmas for the Champion of the Champions, Ed Gamble talked about filming for Champion of the Champions on the podcast, which is underway or completed. Yeah, I knew it was at least some parts filmed. But I didn't know if they had kind of set a date, because I'd kind of heard different things. Like, at one point I thought it was New Year's, but then I heard someone else say that it wasn't. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, on to the team task. So, the team task. A lot of rules on this one, which I may as well read out. So, get the most balls in the net. They must stay on their spots. If anyone other than the task reader touches or handles the ball, they will have 5 balls deducted from their final count. The person in the middle must sit for 10 seconds, then stand for 10 seconds, and any balls between the task reader and the middle person are deducted from their score. A lot of rules. A lot of rules on this task. So, yeah. Is it just 2 episodes again? Over Champion of the Champions, I think just 1. I want to say it's just 1 episode, which is a shame, but everyone, I remember, either Ed or Alex saying that, even though it's 1 episode, it's, completely different to what they've done before, and it's, an interesting change, so I'm definitely intrigued to see what that is. And back onto the cake task, I'm not sure if I like that Morgana ended up with more points than Victoria, who won the task. For me personally, I am, because I think Morgana did deserve more for being the only one. For me, like I said before, Morgana's the only one, in my opinion, that actually sat on a cake, so I'm glad that she got more points, but I can completely understand if you're upset. Not upset, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so this task was so complicated, and I thought at first that Desiree, Guz and Morgana had absolutely nailed this one, but it was just so difficult to kind of keep track of how many different rules there were. Just so many different rules. I did like this task, but it's just, I'm just trying to think. It's I'm just trying to think of a way round it. I guess Desiree, Morgana and Guz did this one as good as they could have done until the end, obviously. So obviously they threw the net over and just cut the balls up to fit them all in the net and got 99 balls in the net, which was so good. And I just loved how fed up Guz looked of having to keep sitting and standing. At first I thought I didn't understand why that was happening, but it's just as kind of a hazard to get in the way, to get hit by the balls and get points deducted, which obviously I don't think they hit Guz at all, because they immediately just put the net over, so it's kind of pointless for them. And to just see the comparison between their attempt and Alan and Victoria's, who were just throwing the ball just all over the place and constantly hitting Alex, I just absolutely loved. I was literally shouting at the team of 3 to get the net back to Desiree, so frustrating because they did really well. Yeah, I didn't even notice. I didn't notice that the ball had, like, I kind of felt that, like, something wasn't right. Like, I was like, that seemed too easy. But I had no idea, like, what it was. But yeah, so frustrating. They definitely deserved some points for that. To help the task, Gus, when he needed to stand, should have moved towards the wall to allow the balls to get by him better. With Alex, though, he definitely wouldn't have done so. I guess they could have told him to. I think if they said to him, like, stand to the side, I'm sure he probably would have done it. Yeah. If Morgana had kept the net behind her, it wouldn't have been between them. Yes. See, I did think that was weird. That had the balls between the task reader and the middle person were deducted. I thought that was kind of like a very specific thing. So yeah, like you said, they could have put the net behind her or passed it over. Yeah, it's just a shame. Because, yeah, the group of three, they got -1 points. Which sounds bad, but then when we got to Victoria and Alan, yeah. I found it interesting that even though the team of three got more points, Greg didn't give them a point. Yeah. So because nobody completed the task, nobody like scored any points, got any, like, technically nobody got any balls in the net. They don't deserve any points, which I'm sure there's been attempts where people have got minus scores and they've got points. Because yeah, I probably would have split it like either 3 and 2 or 4 and 1, obviously, to the group of three. Sorry, yeah, that's probably how I would have done it. Yeah, probably 4 and 1, because at least the group of three had a really good idea. They just, like, failed at the end. Whereas Victoria and Alan, like, their attempt from the start was just not going well. Like, they immediately hit Alex. And yeah, just so many balls on the floor. Ended up getting a score of -128, which is ridiculous. I found the ball thing hard to follow. I don't mind disqualifying everyone for doing worse than just sitting there, but a few too many caveats. Yeah, yeah, I don't agree with nobody getting any points, because the task wasn't get the ball in the net, it was get the most balls. So technically, I mean, nobody got. I still would have given the group of three a point, because they still completed the task in a way. They just, yeah, they just got deducted points. I don't know, it's quite, yeah, just so many rules again. It was the same with the cycling one last episode. And we were just there on here just ages trying to think of ways around the task, and it was just like everything we thought of, there was a rule that stopped that would have got you disqualified. And I feel like that's the same with this one, obviously with the exception of them being able to pass pass the net over. I'm not sure. I'm a huge fan of the over-engineered tasks. It's difficult to follow all the rules as a viewer. I much prefer the simpler tasks that end in craziness. I completely agree. I do like the cycling task was very entertaining, but I do like the ones that you can get kind of so many different ways of doing it, because with the cycling one, there's only one way you can do it. It's just the best way you can do it. With this one, there was like 2 ways. I couldn't see another way other than both the teams did it, and obviously one of the ways doesn't work very well. But yeah, no, I definitely prefer the simple tasks. Like, still one of my favourite tasks to this day is eat the most watermelon. That task was such an amazing one, like straight away. It was obviously the first proper task of their whole show, and it was just great with the way that everybody had such a different approach to something that is seemingly very simple. And yeah, that's those kind of tasks I really love, because they're ones that, yeah, everyone can just go completely wild with it. Simple tasks are really enjoyable. I can think about Eat the Grape from Taskmaster New Zealand 100%. But like things like that as well, like with the escape rooms and the riddles, like they are ones that, yes, they're complicated in the way that you have to solve them, but they're still very kind of like entertaining, and people can have completely different approaches to it, like, and how they react to like escape rooms or things like that. So yeah, it's just like, yeah, I agree. The ones where there are too many rules are the ones that I like the least, I would say. Yeah, just lack of room for like creativity and just like differences in the way that they approach tasks. And I feel like some of the times with the really, really over-engineered tasks, it's like, what's the point of getting comedians to do it? Because the point of having comedians is because they are funny and can do things in funny ways, whereas if to actually complete the task, they don't even have the room to kind of do things in their own way, if that makes sense. I think it kind of limits how funny it can be. I mean, I remember last episode we were saying that the cycling task was only good, I still enjoyed it, but it was only really good because it was the first time Victoria had ridden a bicycle, and that's what made that task really, really strong. Open-ended tasks are much more interesting. Slide the furthest, I agree. Also, Fly from Taskmaster New Zealand is so open-ended. That was such a good task. It was nice to see the different approaches. What did you think about the ad? I think it's a great way of doing like advertising. I think, it's so good because it both advertises the show and like it's obviously Google, that's the ad for, and I think it's a great way of kind of benefiting both parties. And obviously it's good for us because we get to watch Al Murray and Desiree Burch do some tasks. And yeah, I saw you guys talking about it before, but I love that Al Murray is still clinging on to Taskmaster, and it's 100% what I would be doing if I was him. It's the same with, like, I'm surprised James Acaster isn't in it because he loves Taskmaster. I thought he'd be like kind of jumping at the opportunity to do more tasks. Same with Ed Gamble. I'm surprised he's not in the ads as well. But yeah, it was I didn't watch it live, so I didn't have that kind of confusion of not really knowing what the ad was like, what the ad was, and getting confused by it. I saw afterwards, I just happened to go on Twitter and saw people talking about like the Taskmaster ad. And yeah, there's been 2 now. So there was the do the origami one, and now the eat the like raspberry task. Both of them were very good. I can't wait to see if there's more of them because I do think they're quite entertaining. Tasks with no real instructions, just get some points. I recently saw the Denmark version. They got points for touching their faces, but the operators didn't know how they got points. Oh, similar to the one in Series 1 where they were like in the squash court. Yeah, I love tasks like that as well. Same with the I don't think it was as good, but the one in Series 11 where they had to get across without setting off the alarm, like that kind of thing where they don't know the rules. I like those ones. They're very good. Al Murray brought his way in. I wouldn't be surprised. Series 9 is the only one I haven't seen. Oh, that's a shame. Series 9 is really, really good. I know I did see loads of I constantly see people asking like when Series 9 is going to be on YouTube. I don't know what's happened with that, but it's a shame that so many people haven't been able to see it because it is a really, really good series. Okay. Yes, obviously for that task, every team got disqualified, which is a shame. Yeah, I don't. I guess Greg thought he was too generous with the first task, so I get it. And yeah, so task 3, which I think maybe excluding the studio task for this one, was my favourite task of this episode. I absolutely loved it, and again, yeah, there was quite a few rules on this one, but I think just the general task of prevent Alex from scoring a goal was kind of like we're saying, simple. Obviously there were rules, but the concept was very, very good, and I loved everybody's attempts. Series 9 is on YouTube. I don't watch it on YouTube. I don't think people in the UK can, but that's great. So yeah, it's definitely not on UK YouTube, because obviously we have all 4 UK TV, so we have to kind of watch it in those ways. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad it's on YouTube for those of you that are not in the UK. So let's just go. I'll just say the rules again, just so we know. The ball and the goalpost must be on their spots when Alex attempts to score a goal. They must be 12 yards away from the ball when Alex attempts to score, and the slowest goal scored by Alex wins. So, yeah, not as many rules as the last task, but I absolutely loved it. And I was just about to say, Lewis, that yes, I loved seeing Alex doing the task, like actually being so involved with the actual task. Obviously he creates the task, so he is involved in it that way. But I loved seeing Alex having fun with a task rather than being like tortured. That's kind of the ways when he is involved in tasks, it's often as own he's just loved it. The image of Alan Davies crouched behind a goal is going to live rent-free in my brain forever. Yeah, I think I want to say Alan's was my favourite attempt at this task. Guz was pretty good as well, but yeah, no, I think Alan was so good, just having his very well constructed goal defence just be taken apart bit by bit, and him just slowly kind of getting more, not scared, but that kind of feeling like, oh god, I'm actually going to have to defend soon. It was just amazing. I was genuinely impressed with Alex and Guz's skills. Same, they were both very, very good. Alex is surprisingly good at football. I knew he was really, I knew he was into football, but I didn't realise he was that good at football. But yeah, it was great to see him really thrive in a task. I loved it. This was a task I thought would be boring, but was amazed by it. Same. I think this is going to be one of my favourite tasks. I agree. I just thought it was so good. Again, everybody had such a different approach. And again, literally what we were saying, the simpler tasks work the best. Somehow I stupidly thought Alex wouldn't be able to touch anything, so putting the bathtub over the ball would have been enough. Yeah, I was surprised that Alex did just come in and do everything. It kind of seemed it was he can do one thing at a time, before each attempt. I liked that he didn't just go straight ahead and take it apart. I feel like he gave them a fair go with taking a few attempts before moving things, obviously except for the bathtub over the ball. Why not just tie Alex up for every task? That would have worked. And yeah, I wrote Christian just said, I'm surprised no one pulled a rod. Yeah, that would have been such a good way of doing the task, 100%. I think Guz got the closest to that by putting the ball in the house and duct taping the doors together. I thought that was great. And yeah, Alex busting through the door was just amazing. And yeah, Guz just genuinely seemed quite scared, and I didn't think that he'd actually be able to get through the door, so that was amazing when he did. Morgana moving the fence every time Alex put it back was hilarious. Yes, I did love that. I'm surprised Alan didn't have the same idea. But yeah, Morgana was very good at that one, just not letting Alex get away with it. Less constraints and more fun, I agree. Cutting that net was clever or cheating? I would say clever. I think it was... He tried other things. It's not like he went straight for cutting the net. It was... He gave it a good go at all the other... all the other kind of ways of doing it, and it was like, cutting the net. I thought it was hilarious. Morgana's shouting at him was just, it was just perfect. I thought the editing as well was very strong with this entire task, with every contestant. Just great. Would it have been possible to just take the ball and send it away in a taxi? That was my first idea. Let me have a look. It just says the ball and the goalpost must be on their spots when Alex attempts to score a goal. So as long as you move the spot, like keep the ball on the spot, then I guess that would work very well, yeah. Could have thrown the ball over the fence. Yes, again, like I just said, you need to make sure that it's still on the spot. Could they have grabbed the ball and read mark and simply walked around without putting it down? There's something about being 12 yards away. I don't know. Yeah, it must be 12 yards away from the ball. I don't think that would work because you would be on the ball. So, yeah, unfortunately that one wouldn't work. Cutting the net was the level of out the box thinking I expect from certain contestants. So it was great to see Alex having to think like that. Yeah, I really want to see Alex be a contestant. At least I just want to see what his approach to the tasks would be. Because like you said, his approach to kind of trying to score then was incredible. The way he kicked the ball over Victoria's, putting a pile of stuff in front of the ball seemed like a genius idea. Obviously, we now know he could have just taken it all down, but he just chipped it over, and it just went straight in. It was just so good. And just Victoria standing there and let the ball roll in was just hilarious. This probably, though, would have been one of my worst tasks, because I hate having footballs kicked at me. I know that sounds really weird, but I always just flinch. I would be the worst goalkeeper ever. I just flinch and kind of it's just involuntary. I just get away from the ball as quickly as possible. I'm like the opposite of a goalie, basically. But I'm also really bad at dodgeball. So, yeah, I wouldn't have done very well at this task unless I had thought of something that Morgana or Alex had done. I like also that Morgana did go quite simple with hers as well. It was literally just turning the goalpost around. And just stopping Alex's attempts to make it easy for himself. Wozniak said something on the podcast about wanting to be able to erase Alex's memory of creating the tasks so he could compete. Oh, that'd be so good. I mean, I'm sure there'd be tasks that he hasn't thought of that he could do. It'd be a great thing as just a one-off thing. It'd just be great to see. I just want to see what his approach would be. Also, it'd be fun to see what Greg's approach would be, because I feel like he wouldn't be very good. I don't know why. I feel like he's just kind of got... I don't think he would care that much to do well. Whereas Alex, I think, would be... I think he'd also be a bit of a tryhard, but also be very good. This one I'd be good at because I actually play goalie. Oh yeah, you'd have been great. I would have been the complete opposite. I would have hot glued an elastic band from the ball to my hand. Perfect goalkeeping. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would work. Since Tim Key also creates tasks, having Alex as a contestant would be possible. Same with Greg. Yeah, definitely. And also, like, if the New Zealand Taskmaster, like, task writers, they could create some tasks for him to do. I just really want to see him do the tasks. Desiree needs better plastic. Oh, I can't believe we haven't talked about Desiree yet. I thought her attempt at the start was genius. I thought it was such a good idea. You know, covering the goal in cling film was great. I did feel bad for her though. I could see there were holes in the cling film, and I was just thinking, Desiree, please just cover it up. Do you know? But yeah, I don't think hers would have lasted too long, even if he didn't get it in first try, because I don't think the cling film would have been too like strong, and also he probably would have gone in with the scissors at some point. But yeah, I was just thinking maybe you could get like a sheet or something and like nail it into the ground and like tie it to the top, so like that would act as a defense. It'd be similar to Desiree's one, but like a bit more sturdier. I don't know whether that would work. They could have tried bribing Alex to just not score a goal. Wasn't that what Al Murray did with the water bucket task? Yeah, he bribed Alex to carry the water, which Alex said no to, like Sarah doing or something as well, which was just hilarious. Create a task for Alex task similar to what John Richardson had. That would be a great way of putting it seamlessly into a series. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I'd love that idea. That's so good. Cut the ball up and nail it to the ground. Yeah, that would work. Would Alex then have to try and get each individual piece into the net to be able to actually end the task? Probably. That is good. I like that idea. That would work. Has there been any individual tasks no one else did? In this series, I think just Morgana's bonus points for making them say submarine. I think that's the only individual tasks this series so far. Hopefully there's more ones, because yeah, they're always a laugh. I love them. Any task where it's Alex will, they could just do a Rod Gilbert and tie him up. Yeah, I mean, I guess we probably would get a little bit tired of it if every contestant did that. But yeah, I am surprised no one else did something similar. Like, yeah, Gus's attempt at, like, I am a bit annoyed. No, not annoyed. Bit disappointed for him that he didn't get more points, because his idea was so good. And it was just hilarious. So we had a really good initial idea. He was really good at, like, actually being a goalkeeper, and it was funny. Like, that is, yeah. I mean, he got 3 points, which isn't bad. But yeah, he did such a good job. New Zealand had 2 hours of shoelace untying. Beat that. I think that is one of the, like, I don't even know, like, torturous tasks there has ever been. Oh God. It was just a genius task, and like David Kress was such just such a good sport with that one, and like absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I would pay to see the 2 hours that task took. Like, just him and Paul just having a good time. Same with the task where, speaking of tasks where they don't know the rules, the one in Taskmaster New Zealand with the milk cartons, and they were told don't open the task. That was such a good one. I think Taskmaster New Zealand is really good at, like, the trick tasks, like the one where it was like when where he just went out of the room and they had to go and find him, and it was just how long will they stay there. I love those tasks, but yeah, that's off topic. I bet you Victoria will get an individual task. Yeah, I would say she seems the most likely to get an individual task. I think, yeah, the most likely. I'm just trying to think what it could be though. I think probably Victoria. Maybe I think Morgana shouldn't get it because she did the what's it called? Yeah, the bonus point task. Yeah, just trying to think what else they could do. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Mark Watson had 5 months of text sending. Beat that. Yeah, to be fair, that one was a brutal, solo task. That was so good. Oh, that was such a good task. I think the part that made that more brutal was because he didn't get any points for it, whereas David, I think, got 5 points. I can't remember how many points he got, but he got a lot of points. So, yeah. Yeah, poor Mark. I liked the make the best desert task. Or desert? Oh. I don't know what task we're talking about, sorry. Did an operator have to count the beans in a can? I guess so. I don't know. They probably just got Josh to do it. Again, that was a brutal solo task. Oh, all the solo tasks are so, not mean. It's all in good spirits, but yeah, they're pretty brutal. There's still the rumour about Victoria's hats on Only Connect being tied to an individual task on Taskmaster. She denied it on Twitter, but I still think it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm torn, because it does seem like a Taskmaster thing to do, but I think because she's said recently that it's not got anything to do with Taskmaster. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was to do with Taskmaster at all. But I can't tell whether she's getting a bit frustrated that everyone thinks it is, so I don't know whether, I don't know. New Zealand, it was make the best desert, but they were given dessert ingredients, so most made desserts. Why can't I remember that task? I've seen the first series. This just calls for a rewatch of the New Zealand Taskmaster, because I cannot remember that task. That is so odd. That is really, really odd. Josh's was the best as it was the first series, so I didn't really see it coming. Also, getting him to sing the theme tune. Yeah, he got the individual task in the Champion of the Champions one, didn't he, as well? That one was good. Yeah, I like that. There, yeah. Oh, God, poor Josh. At least he won, though. At least he deserves Champion of the Champions just for the amount of individual tasks he's had to do. Right, shall we talk about the studio task, which was a phenomenal studio task. I love the the ones that, you can feel the tension and it's just so dramatic. Again, like we said, it's a very simple task. Just pop the most balloons. You may pop between 1 and 10 balloons each turn. If you pop one of the 5 bad balloons, you're disqualified. And then the winner gets 10 points. Classic balloon and darts, exactly. Yeah, this was a great task. Again, it was very intense. Everyone seemed really into it. But very similar to the last studio task that we had. Everyone just seemed to be having a good time. It was intense. It was, just dramatic. And 10 points for the person who didn't pop a bad balloon, which at first I was a little bit like when it's like big points having big points being given out, I'm always a bit kind of like wary, because it does give one person like a massive advantage. But I'm not that mad about the way this task ended, because in my mind, if it's one of the two people in like second to last place and last place, I don't mind if they get 10 points, because they deserve it. You know, let's create an underdog, you know, someone that we think is going to lose, that will come up and like actually bring competition to the person in like first place. Yeah, it was just so good. Oh yeah, no idea why YouTube decided not to notify me even when I specifically told them to. Yeah, I noticed when I put out this, like the live stream kind of like notification, and also like the community post about it, they didn't seem to go out properly. I don't know why. Especially the community tab. Like normally I will get kind of like a few likes on the community tab. But it was literally like nobody had seen it for like 3 hours, so I like reposted it, and I just feel like I don't know whether there's an issue with my community tab going out, because I attached the live stream to that as well, but yeah, literally nobody saw it. It was really weird. But anyway, I'm glad you're here now. The live task had great dramatic editing. Yes. This is one that I really wish we had. It didn't really impact the task in any way, but I would have loved to been in the studio to watch that. It would have been so good. Strategy and luck, the best mix. Yeah, definitely. I bet that task took ages in the studio. Yeah. One of my favourite things is like I really want to see... Oh yeah, I just want to be in the studio for some of the studio tasks, like the hot dog or finger. I would have loved to been and saw that live. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious that Victoria got disqualified early and was then visibly frustrated by everyone not making good risk-reward analysis. Yes. And yeah, as ironic, Kristen says, it's a bit unfortunate that Victoria went out first, because she would have been playing all the numbers. Yeah, and like you could see her kind of like really calculating it. It was just pure like unluckiness. That's not a word, but yeah, that she popped a bad balloon on her first go, because yeah, she was telling Gus like, think it through, like, you know, think about it before you like throw the dart. And I'm glad that she gave Gus pointers, because he was making me so anxious. I was just thinking, just don't throw another dart, just sit back, let somebody else do it. But yeah, it's such a shame that with a gambling kind of task that we didn't see Victoria like to the end. But I love that she helped Gus, because he deserved it. I've heard several channels saying they're having problems with live stream announcements. Okay. Glad that it wasn't just me, because it was quite frustrating. The live task was so intense. I loved it. They really used not having an audience to their advantage this series. Same goes for the fork throwing task. Yeah, that is a good point. With a studio audience, they wouldn't have been able to do that dart task. So yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, I also actually, yeah, I think actually not having a studio audience is better for this one, because I can imagine a lot of them would kind of be shouting it like to stop throwing or to keep throwing, and it kind of maybe would have played with them, maybe ruined that, you know, just that like that tensiony silence that we had, that kind of added to the tension. Yeah, it was just such a good task. I loved it. Victoria coaching Gus was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, it really was. She knew kind of like how to play it. It's just unlucky that she got it on the first one. Yeah. I just love this task. It was so good. I don't know how I would have played this. I probably would have been a bit nervous to kind of throw a lot. Maybe like Morgana, I think she didn't throw loads to begin with. Alan, I thought, was way too risky. I just feel like I would have got so unlucky on like the first one. No audience is just better in general, and the crew and stuff are still around to provide some feedback. Yeah, I think generally, with the overall show, I think it benefits from a studio audience, but overall, I think the studio task at the end, most of the time, you know, it does very well without one, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was probably a very bad explanation. Morgana got too cocky. She did. I think it was just... Yeah, she probably thought she was being too safe and thought to go all out. I mean, she still did quite well. She got in the middle in terms of points, 3 points. But yeah, I did think that... But then... Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Because in her mind, she probably thought she hadn't got enough balloons, because it wasn't when you were out that's the point position you got, it was how many balloons you popped. So she was very, very low in comparison to Guz and Alan at the one point. So it's probably like she knows she could get the 10 point, but yeah, just to get more points, because even though she was second to last playing, she was one of the two remaining at the end, she still didn't have as many balloons popped as Alan did. Yeah, that's a really bad explanation, I'm so sorry. The tactic is always go with one more than the person in the lead. Yes, but again, Morgana was just so far behind Guz at that point. As Gal says, I think Morgana played it too safe in the early rounds and she had to make up the difference. Exactly, that's such a better explanation than what I was trying to say. Because she was just so far behind in like balloons popped than everybody else, even though she lasted the longest. So in the points overall was like that, just be the last one out. That is great advice. So easy. Victoria unfortunately only got 1 point, Desiree with 2, Morgana with 3, Alan with 4, and then Guz with a whopping 10 points, which, as I said, I was initially a little bit uneasy with somebody getting that amount of points, because it can like completely just skew the points in someone's favour, like in series 2 with what's it called, with the rabbit in the hat. Catherine got so many points from that task, which shot her into the lead, and she ended up winning the series. I'm not mad that she won the series. I thought she was a great contestant, but it's because of that one task that she won, pretty much. So if like Morgana or Desiree, I think those were the last two in the lead last episode, maybe Alan, can't remember, but those, Guz and Victoria were in the bottom place. So if Morgana, say, had won, she would have been unreachable, really. So I'm glad that Guz got it. I would have been happy with Guz and Victoria getting these ones, because it would have been cool to get somebody shoot up and like be back in the competition almost. It's a shame that Victoria didn't get it, because she is quite far behind at the moment. But yeah, there are a lot of extra points this series. Yes, there is. It's an interesting choice. I don't know why they're going with so many bonus points. It literally is like every episode that there's bonus points, and then just random ones that Greg decides to give out. I can understand doing more bonus points in this episode, being like, the 100th episode of Taskmaster. I get that. But yeah, it does seem a lot, really, doesn't it? Addie says, but if you're first, your balloon count doesn't matter. so 1 per turn is better overall. Yeah, that definitely is the least risky way of doing it. But again, you could just get unlucky, hit the balloon, even if you're one of the last 2 remaining, and end up being in like 3rd or 4th place if they've popped more balloons. It definitely is, I don't know, that what someone said, the risk reward analysis. It probably is a very smart way of doing it. But yeah, there's probably a big risk to it as well. I don't know, I'm not very good at gambling, so I think if series 2 was longer, Catherine would have won anyway, but as it was a short series, others could have taken it if it wasn't for that task. Yeah, that is a good point. If it was, I definitely think Catherine was the strongest contestant. I did quite like John Richardson's approach a lot of the time, but yeah, she was a very strong contestant, which, like I said, I'm not mad that she won, but it does seem a bit kind of like unfair that she got so many points for one task. I never really like it when they do that kind of thing, because like somebody could get 10 points and someone else can get 1. Like, that is a big advantage. Like, same with this one. Like, yeah, if Morgana or Desiree had got those 10 points, like, yeah, it would have been so much harder for someone else to beat them. Whereas at the moment, we'll go over the kind of like the final scores at the moment. Desiree, unfortunately, has fallen quite far behind, considering she was winning last episode. So she only got 4 points overall in this she only got 8 points overall in this episode. Victoria got 10, Alan got 14, Morgana got 17, and Guz got 21. Which means that the overall score for the series is Victoria in last place with 62, Desiree with 76, Alan with 80, Morgana with 82, and then Guz with 83. So the top 3, there's only 3 points between the top 3. So I do like the fact that that task kind of pushed it up a little bit more, like made it a bit closer, apart from poor Victoria. But I do feel bad for Desiree, because she has fallen quite far behind, which is a shame, because she was doing very, very strong before this episode. Which, yeah, I definitely feel like she was underscored at the very beginning. Yeah. The first series had a cup as the winning series prize. What happened to that cup? Are there different heads for each series? Yeah, I think it was just they weren't sure what they were gonna do for the what they were gonna do for the. It was just the first series. They were still working it out, but yeah, as you say, that the cup ended up on top of the Taskmaster statue because Josh won Champion of the Champions, which, yeah, as you said, was very, very funny. It'd be great if Victoria can win an episode. Catherine Parkinson managed it. I think she will. I mean, she's done some tasks where most of the time in her episodes, either she does really well in one task, then really bad, and it kind of like balances it out. Apart from some episodes where she has some bad and like everything, but she definitely has potential to win an episode, no doubt about it. Something random. I really like the dynamic between Jeremy and Paul in Taskmaster New Zealand. Them being nice and appreciative of each other. It's so refreshing in the contrast of Greg pretending to be so mean to Alex. Yes. Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't a big fan of Jeremy. Like, he's not, obviously, compared to Greg, he's not as good by himself. But yeah, the relationship between Jeremy and Paul is so good. Like, I think Jeremy was really, really great in series 2. I just like that he seems, I don't know how to describe him, like a bit nonchalant, like, but also kind of like dignified, and just like respectful of everybody. Yeah, and he just seems very knowledgeable and kind of like wise in a way, and I think it is, yeah, it's a very different dynamic to Greg and Alex, and I do love I just love them together. I think Jeremy is really going strong in like the studio tasks and in that kind of thing. Like his opening the bottles was great. Him guessing the miming or whatever they were doing, that one was just so brilliant. I think he's really good. I think even Alex said they didn't know if they'd return. It was just a cheap karate trophy. Yeah, can you imagine if we only got one series of Taskmaster? Like, it's such a shame that they were going into it with so much uncertainty. Like, it was so strong, like straight away from the beginning. It's such a shame that they had to think about not being renewed. I can recommend Paul Williams' Surf Music. He's a very talented musician. Yes, I've watched. Is Surf Music just the name of one song, or is it the name of the album? I've definitely seen the one music video that he's got, and I'm pretty sure Brinley is in it, and maybe Rose as well. Yeah, I really liked it. It's very good. Victoria did that puzzle task so I can only connect contestant, which was really something. Yes, she did. She was so good. She does really thrive in some tasks. And yeah, I think she's. I don't doubt that she'll win an episode at all. New Zealand Alex is totally different to Alex, very dry. Yeah, and again, I love the fact that he is just so different, yet brings the same kind of energy. I think he's done such an amazing job. Yeah, Jeremy always seems well-meaning. Yeah, I think that's a nice way of saying it. I think Jeremy is hurt by the edit because apparently a lot of arguing has been cut out. Interesting. There are parts where it seems like there's a bit of tension either just before an argument or like just after, but we don't see it actually. I don't know why that is, because he is, I think sometimes the show does benefit from like the argumentativeness, the competitiveness. Apparently, I don't know, did someone say it before? Did I see? Maybe it was on Reddit that I saw it, that apparently there was more arguing after Laura's prize task of like I don't know what it was, like the constitutional or something that was in Maori, and then the English translation was very bad. Like apparently that had a lot more arguing afterwards that was cut out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that task there was supposed to be a lot of tension afterwards that wasn't shown. But again, you can kind of feel it a bit before. Jeremy's scoring drove me nuts. And he never seemed like he was in on the joke, but they still had nice chemistry. I liked they weren't trying to copy Greg and Alex. Yeah, I mean, Greg's scoring is off the wall sometimes, so they're definitely similar in that regard. Surf Music is the name of the album too. Okay, yeah, that's probably why I'm getting confused. I wonder if they'll bring back the buy a present for the Taskmaster task. That was always a fun one. Yes, they should have done it in this episode, like the 100th episode. That is, I absolutely love that task. I get why they kind of cut it, because you don't want everybody to expect that task and to prepare for it like further in advance. Yeah, I just love that task so much. It always had just like, we had Josh getting a tattoo, Roisin buying him a mouth, like it was just so good. I just loved it. Victoria was the only one that burst the balloon with the dart, the only one without the scissors. Yeah, in the dart task, yeah. Like I said, she is very good at certain tasks. Like, she does thrive in certain areas. So, I definitely think she's going to win an episode. I think they have to cut out more in Taskmaster New Zealand because it has an extra ad break, which also shortens the live task. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just trying to think. So obviously I've watched it on YouTube, so I don't know. I can't remember how many. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, there's there is an extra one, isn't there? Yeah, that is probably why. That's a shame. But the tasks are so strong anyway that I don't really think it misses out too much. Just because, yeah, the contestants are thriving in like the in the tasks anyway. But yeah. In I think series 1, Jeremy needed a bit of time to find his persona. Series 2, Jeremy and Paul are much more dynamic and fun. Yeah, I completely agree. Jeremy, I think, has had a massive improvement from series 1 to series 2. Paul was just strong all the way through. Yeah, I think I think they just work so well together. I love the Jeremy is just kind of like, yeah, like I said, like he just seems distinguished and wise, whereas like Paul is just like a bit odd and hesitant, and I don't know, they just work so well together. I don't know how to describe it. I never know how to describe Paul. I just don't know how to describe him. Like, he's just so unique. I just don't know the right words. Like, nothing seems to fit, if that makes sense. Hello from California. Is series 12 on YouTube for the people who watch it on YouTube? Because I'm pretty sure I've got people watching that are from America, like, as well. So hopefully you can find it on YouTube. Because it's a really good series so far. Like, spoiler free, it's very good. So hopefully you can watch it soon. Jeremy is apparently almost 50. He does not look 50. Let's have a look. Yeah, he definitely looks quite young. Oh, he's 44. Yeah, I would say looks about 40. Yeah, so good. Yeah, series 12 is on YouTube, so if you you have to have a VPN for... Is that even in America you have to have a VPN? Oh, I don't know, because I'm lucky that I don't have to use a VPN to watch it, because I can watch it on all four. Series 12 is on YouTube, but it's blocked for several regions. Oh, okay. That's a shame. Is that... Yeah. Wonder why. Like, what's the point of... Is this like the YouTubers, like the Taskmaster official channel putting it out on YouTube? Because that's weird if it is. It's blocked. Like, obviously blocking it in the UK and Ireland, that's fair enough, because we can watch it. Like on other places, but yeah, interesting. Blocked in America. Oh my god, I had no idea. I just assumed it was like last series where basically anyone apart from people in the UK can watch it on YouTube. That's a shame. I had no idea. Wonder why that is. Who would be your ideal contestant for the next UK series? Ooh, interesting. Ooh, I don't know. Whoever I said, I made a video on favourite contestants. I was trying to think. I don't know. I can't even remember who. Oh, I said Sean Locke in my video. It's a shame he can't be on it, obviously. But Sarah Millican still. I'd love to see her. Rich Diawadi. I'd like to see either like Jamie or Natasha. What are they? No, I think that might be her name from Stafford's Flats. Yeah. I can never pronounce his second name. Dimitru. I think he would be great. Natasha. Yeah, I thought that was her name. Natasha or Natasha Dimitri as well. I think both of those two would be great. And also, Stafford's Flats series 3 starts tonight, which I can't wait. yeah, those two I think would be great. Again, anyone from Ghosts. Also, we've already had 3 Ghosts contestants, but any of them would be great to see. Yeah, all of them are great. Yeah, the official channel that blocks different regions, probably due to contracts with local TV channels. Licensing thing due to the US series. Been blocked since like series 6 or 8. Oh my god, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought that everyone could watch it on YouTube. Rosie Jones, yes, I agree. I just want to see, who says, Reginald D. Hunter. I want to see his reactions to Alex when reading the tasks. Yeah, he'd be great, I think. IORD would be amazing, or a disaster. Yeah, I think he would be similar to Victoria, where he will either be absolutely like incredible or just fail. Fail at everything. I'm trying to think who else. Why can't I think of any other comedians? I know I've got a massive list in my brain of every comedian I want to see on the show, but I can't think of anybody. Yeah, Jim Howick, I think you mean. Yeah, the Ghost Scouts guy. Can't remember his name even after binging entire Sex Education Series 3 yesterday. I still haven't watched Series 3 of Sex Education. I've been meaning to. And Victoria's husband, whatever his name is. Yes, David Mitchell. I don't think he's ever going to, because obviously he's doing Outsiders now. Which I am going to make a video on that. And while we're on the point of videos, apologies for lack of videos. Yeah, I just haven't had time. I've got one filmed, but I haven't been able to edit it. And also, I've got an idea for Outsiders. I'm going to talk about that. And yeah, I've got loads of ideas, but just no time to do them. But yeah, I will have one out for you soon. Miles Jupp, yes, 100%. I would love to see him. Yeah, on Taskmaster, he'd be incredible. I think he'd be so good. Milton Jones again. I think I had. Did I put him in my video of contestants I'd like to see? I think I did. Again, he'd just be so weird, but good weird. Bill Bailey. Yes, surprised everyone on Strictly, so I think he might do quite well. Yeah, I think he'd be great. I love Bill Bailey. I'm just trying, yeah, what other contestants would I like? Not seen Outsiders. Is it any good? Well, I'm not going to say too much because I do want to make a video on it. But oh yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I think it's great. It's really good. Tom Allen. Yes, I'd love to see Tom Allen. He's hilarious. Yeah, because he's got a new show at the moment with Jessica Knappett and I forgot his name. I hadn't seen him before watching it. It's called Complaints Welcome or Complaints something. Basically, they deal with people's complaints. I've only seen the first episode, but yeah, it's quite good. Whatever his new show is with. Oh god, it's gonna bug me now. I think it's called Complaints Welcome. It is. No, it's not. Yeah, is it? I don't know. It's not doing. Yeah. But yeah, him and Jessica Knappett. I love how more kind of prominent Jessica Knappett is becoming, because I think she is absolutely hilarious. Because the only thing I'd seen her on before Taskmaster was Drifters. And now she's done Taskmaster, she's on Outsiders, she's on Complaints Welcome, she's on more panel shows, and I think she's one of my favourite comedians at the moment. I think she's just absolutely hilarious. Jack D, of course, yes, I'd love to see Jack D, and Claudia Winkleman. Yeah, she'd be absolutely great. Because yeah, she's amazing on Would I Lie to You as well, Claudia Winkleman. Disappointing that David Mitchell doesn't want to do it, but realistically he'd be worse than Victoria. Yeah. Yeah, I think he would be. Yeah. Oh god, I'm just trying to think. Like, there is just so many contestants that'd be so good on Taskmaster. It's one of those shows that, like, yeah, just pretty much any contestant can thrive on it. And yeah, hopefully be introduced to some new comedians as well. I'm sure, yeah, because I think I asked this last episode, I can't remember, series 13 has been filmed, like the studio bits. So there are people out there that know the lineup, but obviously it can't tell. Yeah, I can't wait to see who it is. I imagine it will get revealed after series 12 finishes or after Champion of the Champions. Yeah, I can't wait. Adam Buxton would be great. Yeah, he would be. I think he would be very, very good. Anyway, I think Big Nasty would be would be funny. Yeah, he'd be great. He's one of those people that I didn't expect to be as funny as he was, but yeah, absolutely, like, brilliant. Oh, Freddie Flintoff. Yeah, I like Freddie Flintoff. I think, yeah, he'd be very, very good. Anyway, I think that will be the end of the stream tonight. Thank you very much for joining and being so engaging in this show today. It's been a very, very good live stream. I definitely think it's been one of the strongest live streams of this series that we've done, which is great, especially because it's been so random with when I can do them. It's very appreciative of the fact that you guys are being able to show up whenever I can do a live stream. It's very nice. It's crazy that Jessica Knafitt's parents named their daughter after the Taskmaster stage. I know, what a weird coincidence that is. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll have a video uploaded soon. Yeah, I've got a less intense week next week, I think, so yeah, hopefully I can yeah. Oh yeah, we haven't done what we normally do with the episode title. Sorry, quickly, I don't know what the next episode is called. Let's have a look. Oh, wrong thing. So the next episode is called A Chair in a Suite. As in a suite, as in the food, not as in like a chair in a suite. I have no ideas of where that phrase could come from. A chair in a suite. I have no thoughts on who that maybe Alex, I think, says a chair in a suite. I feel like that's an Alex thing to say, but yeah, I think that's the hardest one to guess. A chair in a suite. No, yeah, that's such an odd episode title. Sounds like Gus, you say? Okay. Oh, that's the episode description, is it? Desiree Burch tackles tennis balls and gaffer tape, and Alan Davies finds out how many circles he can carry as Greg Davies dispenses justice. Interesting. Okay. How many circles he can carry? Just circles, every time I think of circles, I just think of James Acaster. My eyes are circles. He'd nail that task. Could be Desiree, but maybe Gus. Yeah, it's quite hard, this one. Because last time I think I guessed Gus said croissants as croissants, but it was Alex, but it was inspired from Gus, so I feel like I was half right on that one. And I think most people said Gus as well. Could be Victoria. Yeah. I'm just going Alex because I feel like when it's something odd, it could be Alex. Anyway, as I said, yes, got distracted. Thank you very much again, everybody, for watching. Yeah, I will see you next week sometime, hopefully. If I don't see you, I hope you all have a very fun Halloween. Yeah, bye.